1 second, guys. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. This is Triumph Man casting the Premier League Season 3 Moscow 5 versus FnaticRC. Now, this is the third and final match. Both teams tied up 1 apiece once again. Dear God, this has been a series of epic matches indeed. First, FnaticRC completely storming Moscow 5 in short order, then Moscow 5 counter-attacking with a very, very strong draft. Unfortunately, I'm going to say that second game, Fnatic were completely out-drafted there. But game number 3, the question is who is going to take this one home for a point? We'll see. But this time around, Nagasiren has banned along. Honestly, Nagasiren, I mean, we saw Fnatic. They got their hands on Nagasiren and just nothing came out of it. So they decided, you know what, let's ban her off, make sure we get rid of her. And they decided to go with Batrider as their first pick once again. Linnea also being banned, and look at that, we've had the Invoker first banned as well. Rubik, though, the counter pick there, this is looking somewhat familiar. Very familiar indeed. Batrider being picked up, and the Moscow 5 going with the Rubik. Likely to see Moscow 5 take that solo mid Rubik again, I think. We'll see what they go for. Venomancer, the second pick there. Tidehunter being picked up by Fnatic. What will they get? They've got a nice, good stun there. This is looking very familiar, except if memory serves me correctly, they had a Nakes. They had a Nakes for Fnatic, and Fnatic also had Venomancer, I believe, in game number 1. But otherwise, the lineups are looking quite similar indeed. Third pick for Fnatic. They are taking their time, though, deciding what they want to go with. I think they had something they wanted just taken out there. Alright, so, third and final pick. It looks like they're going to have Batrider. If Batrider takes that solo, like that jungle role again, it'd be quite interesting. It looks like Tidehunter is likely going to be taking that solo role again. We'll probably see Trixie running Tidehunter, taking the suicide solo lane. Seeing how long he can stay alive there, generally it's a pretty rough call for him. Now, Moscow 5, in game number 1, they had a very aggressive lineup. They went for really early towers. It was looking good, but unfortunately the counterattack and teamfight for Fnatic proved to be too much for them, and they just fell behind so quickly. They lost a couple of key team fights and then just could not come back against Fnatic's teamfight potential. It just fell behind too quickly. And their combo, once it was stopped, they just had no recovery. No, there was no plan B, basically. And I'm honestly going to blame a lot of that on the Syllabear. The Syllabear, A, during a couple of those teamfights, blocked his teammates and got a few of them killed. Secondly, he was completely useless in the fights. If they pick something like Windrunner or any hero who can actually have some kind of mid-game to early-game teamfight potential, they could have done a lot stronger rather than just Lone Druid runs in the fight and hopes the bear stuns something. The bear doesn't proc roots, and he didn't proc any roots. It just basically sits around there looking rather goofy. So I really feel Moscow 5, it was their suicide lane that really let them down. Had they picked something stronger, and Windrunner was available, they could have gone for some nasty shackles, push potential there from the power shot. I think that definitely would have had way more potential, but Vengeful Spirit being picked up by Fnatic. Now, VS is a hero that I don't see that much anymore. She was popular for a long time. It's sort of been superseded by in the support role by heroes like Rubik, as well as Shadow Demon's also been quite popular as well. But still a good hero, and the other thing is they've got lots of displacement. Between Batrider and Vengeful Spirit, there's a lot of displacement available from Fnatic. And they can even just do stuff like just bait with Vengeful Spirit. If they go after Vengeful Spirit, like just leave her at the front, bait her in, and then Tidehunter just gets swapped in an instant, and then suddenly there's a Ravage in your face, so plenty of tricky things they can do with that. She's a fun hero, but like I said, she's just sort of been falling out of favour compared to other heroes like Rubik, and Venomancer as well has also been getting picked up a lot recently. Enigma, though, being banned by Fnatic. Lone Druid being picked up by Moscow 5. Honestly, I'm not in love with this pick. I'm really starting to feel that Lone Druid, despite all the power he can bring, as a suicide role, I kind of dislike him. Because when he falls behind so fast, so hard. It's very difficult for him to have any impact in that mid-game. Or even going to the late game. He generally winds up under-farmed and just not that tough at all. But we'll see how this turns out indeed. Yes, Seuss John, I will be giving away a beta key at the end of this Best of 3 series. To go in it, all you've got to do is follow us on Facebook as well as follow the channel here. Once you've done that, you are in the running. And at the end of every Best of 3 series, I will be giving away beta keys. Next set of bans, though, we do have Brewmother banned as well. So a lot of these annoying pushes like Enigma and Brewmother are being banned. Queen of Pain being banned by Moscow 5. This definitely would have been a potential pick for Fnatic. They can just go in there with a teamfight potential, lots of early nukes and mobility. Fnatic, on the other hand, decided to ban out the Rasta. Rasta in Game 1, I believe, was banned by Moscow 5. And that was definitely a wise ban on their I think it's a wise ban by Fnatic just because it's definitely a hero that could fit into Moscow 5's line. They're looking for plenty of early push potential. The question is Moscow 5 going to grab up one of the junglers? I think so. We've got Enchantress on the board, we've got Chen on the board, so at the moment, it depends whether or not Fnatic decide they want one, but I don't think they do because they're already, if they're following their trick from last match, they're already going to have Batrider in that jungle anyway, so it's already going to be used. It's already going to be taken up. Now, Moscow 5 have banned the Nakes. Nakes was used by Fnatic in Game 1, and conversely, Chen was used by Moscow 5 in Game 1 quite effectively. Moscow 5 still have access to Enchantress unless Fnatic decide they want to have, basically end up stacking heroes in the jungle. Batrider could be rotated to a solo mid or a solo top role if they really want to. It is still a possibility, but the Batrider, the whole stack and then Firefly with Sticky Napalm was quite effective, so I think they might just go with that again. We'll see. Fnatic Raid Core. Oh dear, but it's going to be Furion getting picked up by Fnatic. Enchantress, though, being secured by Moscow 5. Again, this lineup is somewhat vulnerable to getting pushed down early because, again, we've got Nature's Prophet here, and while he can reinforce a lane, his own lane kind of sucks and is rather weak. So, and they don't know how much support they're going to be able to rotate to his lane, especially if he's a suicide role up top early on. But we'll see how it goes. Last pick here for Fnatic. They've got a couple of... Well, the Batrider was sort of the soft support. They had the hard support in the form of Venomancer. This time around, it'll likely be Vengeful Spirit is going to be that hard support. Nature's Prophet either going to be solo top, I think, or the Suicide solo... Oh, no, wait a minute. They could actually even just throw him solo bottom. They might actually go with an aggressive lane up top to try and hold off that push from Moscow 5. Because believe me, there is a push coming. And it's going to be Shadow Fiend. This is definitely an interesting decision. Shadow Fiend could well be the solo mid in this case, and I think he will be. Shadow Fiend solo mid, or as we saw Dignitas do, the dual lane Shadow Fiend and bottom, just farming him up down there is also quite effective. But I kind of feel a solo mid Shadow Fiend coming on. This could mean Nature's Prophet will be sitting in one of the bottom lanes instead. And he could be getting backed up by Vengeful Spirit, although that'd be a little bit weird. Maybe they're going to farm Batrider down there instead. Either way, we'll see how it goes down. Winner on the final pick for Moscow 5. And they don't have nearly as much push potential this time around. They do not have the Leshrac. This is the interesting thing. I was actually thinking the last pick here would probably be the Leshrac, but in this case I think they're actually going to have Windrunner Suicide solo, and Lone Druid and Enchantress and Venomancer are going to focus on the pushing up top. This time around, they're actually going to focus on getting Lone Druid that farm rather than, well, nothing short of throwing him under a bus in Game 1. That's about what it blew up to. This time around, he might actually get some money, and so I think this has a better chance of success than last time. But anyway, we'll see. Call out the heroes here and the players. Playing for Fnatic on the rating side, we have Schneckles playing Vengeful Spirit, No Tail playing Batrider, Error on Shadow Fiend, Trixie playing Tide Hunter, and Hanny on Nature's Prophet. Okay, it looks like Tide Hunter will be the Suicide solo because it's kind of Trixie's deal. And meanwhile, Error is of course the farmer. So I think no, we'll actually see Error in the safe lane possibly because he generally goes down there as the carry role. But anyway, on the die side, Moscow 5, Stalliana playing Rubik, Solo playing Enchantress, Sedoi playing the Lone Druid, and Nexus playing Windrunner, and Dread last and finally on the Venomancer. Bit of a sweep coming out here from Moscow 5 though. They will be ducking into the enemy jungle. It looks like they're just getting some wards down for Nexus before they abandon him. And we have a quick pause there. Not dead sure what's going on. They say anything? Nope, they're saying ready, let's go. Or not. There we go. Okay, ready to go. Trixie now has again gone with the opening build. This is what he did in the first game. Opened up with 2 gloves. It's interesting. Often when we see the Tide Hunters take the solo top role, they tend to not go for the glove. They tend to actually get the shield early on, just to sort of try and stack it with Kraken Shell. It's basically every time the shield procs, it overrides Kraken Shell, but every time the shield doesn't proc, at the very least they proc some damage from Kraken Shell. Also, the debuff is nice as well, but as it is. Batrider still getting ready to do his pulling and stacking shenanigans in here, and of course, actually last time he had an early smoke on him, and somebody has pulled him some sentry wards as well. He didn't have those initially. It looks like his Vengeful Spirit has gone all out on the pulling. Hanny going to be taking solo mid here with Nature's Prophet. Error has gone to the bottom lane with the Shadow Fiend, and he will be going for an early Basilius there. Now Lone Druid scouting things out with the bear. Sees Trixie. Trixie now moving up. He doesn't have anything to block with it. Trixie being quite ballsy here. Looks like Trixie is looking to jack the creep wave. There is no counterattack here. It looks like most of the Dire heroes are not going to be here. It looks like they're going to be leaving Lone Druid to solo versus Seto. And I think they knew this was coming because they saw the Tidehunter pick. They said, you know what, alright, I bet Trixie's going to be doing that. And they figured that he could handle Trixie by himself. Meanwhile, they're going to have more pressure on the bottom line, which is going to help slow down Shadow Fiend, which is definitely necessary. We saw how fast that Fog got out of control yesterday with Shadow Fiend. So definitely a smart move here to keep him under control. Now it's going to be Stalliana solo mid versus Hanny. Stalliana is going to have an advantage just because he has better lane control with Feybolt. Once he gets to level 3, level 5 or so, he's really going to start pouring on the pressure in terms of nukes. This is still going to be a problematic lane for Nexus as well as Dread, because if they get caught out of position by a stun, a magic missile, they're going to get lit up by razors, so they really need to be quite careful on positioning. Level 1, level 2 not so bad because the razors don't do that much damage. But as soon as Magic Missile and the Razors start getting a couple of levels in those, it's going to become quite painful indeed. And in this case, Trixie's actually going to be able to farm this lane, as opposed to last time where he was stuck roaming around for the first couple of levels, just because he couldn't find any room to farm, thanks to his opponents harassing the crap out of him. This time he's actually going to keep up at a decent pace. He's on 5-1. So what's happening right now is, although Lone Druid is still sitting on a similar farm, is the fact that for Moscow 5, they're going to have to accept the fact that Tidehunter is going to get some early items at this rate. He's probably going to get out his early headdress, maybe his early Hood of Defiance, probably get that into an early pipe as well. Or he could just go straight for a Blink Dagger if he wanted to try and set up these fights. Plenty of options open to him. I think he may just go for the Blink. Doesn't really need the early pipe all that much. Pipe will still definitely be very useful. It doesn't need it straight away, but it looks like Schneckles is opening up for the first blood here. Throws down a stun. A power shot will clean him up. And also a slow there on Shadowfiend. Era now in some serious trouble. Can they get a Thunderclap off? The Ursa is coming solo, trying to get some body blocks off. The Ursa's going to move. He's going to go for the Thunderclap there. Doesn't even need to. They get the power shot again. There's a double kill. Next is going to take both of those. And a great gank there from an offensive solo jungling in the enemy jungle. Batrider, though, busy on his own side, not even noticing that. They're still getting the stacks happening down here. Batrider just trying to clean this up at the moment. I think he's waiting to hit level 3 and get a few stacks. In fact, this is annoying. I guess they figured out what happened, and this time Solo going to invade the enemy jungle, and the longer he keeps No-Tail under control, the more rough it gets for No-Tail, just because he's not going to be able to get his combo happening early on. He's not going to catch up, because last time we saw, before the 6-minute mark, he'd already hit level 5. It was actually quite crazy. Just from killing that huge stack of hard creep. See Trixie now under a bit of pressure there. The bear still doesn't have roots yet. Still only she's only level 2 bear. Needs to hit that level 3 before it can get roots. Dread wisely backing up there. Doesn't want to get too close to Era. Era though still only level 2. Needs to get that second level and raise before he can really start threatening people. Trixie now has had an early bottle shuttled out to him. Just going to ferry that back and forth. I think they're saying there are enemies in the jungle and we need to deal with them. And oh, this is what's happening here. Enchantress being a huge pain in the ass. This is why No-Tail can't get any levels. This has completely screwed him, to be honest. No-Tail would be seething with rage. Not only is his jungle being invaded, but he is stacking and he's losing it to the enemy there. Rubik now pops a haste from Firefly being used so to try and get No-Tail away. The slow comes out. Feybolt going to finish him off there. And a great attack there from Moscow 5. Moscow 5 is saying, you know what, you use the same strategy 2 times in a row, we are going to punish you for it. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not going to happen. Not going to happen indeed. Now Rubik finding himself a double damage rune.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Trixie though, he's got his bottle back. He's going to pick up the boots as well. Seto though farming really well, 18-1, so it looks like he can be. Oh, actually no. When I say farming really well, I mean he's not being out-farmed by his opponents, but at the same time he's not on track. He's a little bit behind. Again, coming close to the 5-minute mark, he wants to be close to the 25 CS at the moment. So it looks like Trixie is also holding his own up there still, but at the same time, at the very least, he's not being massively out-farmed. So as opposed to the first match, or rather the second match, was it the first match? I think it was the first. Yes, it was the first match where he got completely destroyed in terms of farm. He won't have to deal with that. Nature's Prophet though has opened. Actually opened up with that Null Talisman, which is an interesting decision. Stalliana though coming in with a double damage rune, going to force Hanny to back off here. And he needs to be really careful, just because if he gets picked up by the telekinesis, he will die to that double damage rune plus a Fade Bolt. In fact, Rubik has gone for an interesting, but only a level 1 telekinesis, and he's actually gone for an early level of stats. I don't know if that's a misclick or if he actually meant for that. Now they're going to try and pick up Dread here. However, Rubik needs to, rather, Nature's Prophet needs to back up here. Do we have a stun? We do have a level 1 magic missile here, but she can't get ready. Titan blocks it for a second. And Vengeful Spirit unable to get anything as Nexus actually gets Nature's Prophet, snipes him there with a power shot. Era now having to pop a health potion. Looks like they're not getting a lot of bang for their buck here. Trixie came in, Nature's Prophet came in here, and the gank backfired. That is definitely quite upsetting for Fnatic there. So shout out to Carlicott in the chat. Stalliana now still farming this mid lane quite easily. Hanny returning to the mid lane. Has still got 6 tangers on him. The steal there from Rubik. What did Rubik get? No, he got summoned Trance. He's got his tree puppets. Now there we go. There's the nasty bear. There's one. It's got Demolish. It's got Roots. And if they leave this tower alone with Lone Druid, he's going to get rid of it. See Enchantress. Did they just see each other? I swear they must have seen each other. Yeah, Batrider knows she's there. The ping goes out. Batrider's passing by Enchantress says, you know, I don't want to mess with you, and just runs for his life. You see Batrider, compare this to last time. At this point in time, Batrider was level 6 in the first match. It's now 6.5 minutes in, Batrider's level 3, and it just comes down to the fact that they drafted Enchantress and just kept screwing with him. This is definitely quite frustrating. In fact, we've seen this with jungle Tinker builds. I think Zenith is, when they use it too frequently, people just strategize around it and counter them, so they need to be careful about popping out the same gimmick strat too many times in a row. No-Tail, though, still has his... I mean, one of the things he could do is actually go to the enemy jungle, disappear into there for a bit, and try and use the enemy jungle for a little while. He wind run down the shackle shot, lands it perfectly, power shot as well. Both heroes struck. Hanny, though, going to try and save his life there. Unfortunately, Rubik brings down the trees with his own summon Trance there. Great move from Rubik. Says, you know what, you can't hide yourself. I'm just going to trap yourself within your own Sprout. Sprout turning into a wall of angry trees that started beating on him. Rubik has an invisibility rune bottle. He's going to continue pressuring men, and they've got plenty of push power here with the tree puppets as well as Enchantress creep. Looks like Vengeful Spirit trying to hold this off, but unlikely to succeed at all. Meanwhile, though, Era is getting some farm down the bottom. Well, when I say getting some farm, he's getting an extra farm now because he wasn't actually getting any before. He's currently up to 10 and 5. That's actually really extremely far behind. I think at Moscow 5, they made the right choice, getting a dual lane down here to put a lot of pressure here on the Shadow Fiend. And this is going to make sure during the mid-game, he's going to be fully focused on playing catch-up. He's not going to be charging around the map, causing carnage. He's just going to be trying to catch up on his farm. And the longer he spends catching up on his farm, the more time that Lone Druid has his time to do stuff. He has free reign to keep farming this Radiance. Enchantress has managed to spot... Oh, they've spotted out the Vengeful Spirit. They know the ward's up there now as well. They throw it in a counter ward. Look at that Plague Ward already de-warding there. The Shackle Shot goes out, doesn't land correctly. Port's coming in. Enchantress needs to get the hell out of dodge. It looks like she's in some serious trouble at the moment. The slows are being stacked on. Here comes the Sprout to slow her down. A Flame Break going to knock her backwards. Sprout not having any effect there. And it looks like she will be run down by a Firefly. There's not really any way for Enchantress to escape. 5v1. But you know, at the same time, all it was a 5v1, and meanwhile, Rubik's up in the top lane, getting ready to ambush somebody, while Lone Druid pushes in on the top tower. Right now, Moscow 5 busy building themselves a nice advantage in terms of towers, and that's going to translate to a really good gold lead here. A 5k advantage in gold, and sitting on a 4k experience lead. They're looking quite strong indeed. Can rip the item tab as well. A Midas already on set, opening up with a Midas, so they're really quite confident that they've got plenty of time on their hands, just because... Well, Shadow Fiend is so far behind, as well as we see him taking some serious damage. He does get ganked down at bottom. Windrunner somehow escaping here. I think they're expecting Furion to show up in a second. Flame Break, not quite enough. Nature's Attend is just healing up Nexus by the slimmest of amounts. Now we've got the port up to top. Looks like we've got combat up top. There's a Ravage being popped. Fade Bolt goes down there, but Rubik taking a lot of damage. Can Rubik get away? Gets the kill off on Rubik. Ravage was enough, whereas Vengeful Spirit walks away with just a little bit of health there. And finally, Fnatic making something happen in their favour at last. At the same time, though, pressure is on bottom tower. The split push happening right now is quite frustrating, and there's not much that he can do about this just because the Plague Wards are immune to magic. The Razors are not going to have any effect, and they're going to be soaking up a lot of damage in a second. Plus also, they're just doing a lot of damage to the tower in general, as you can see. Just so many of them. They get the deny, though. Shadow Fiend sneaks in the deny. Nice play there from Era. Bear still farming to his heart's content though, and has... Oh no, he opened up. He actually opened up with the Orb of Venom. See, I think they're saying there is a rune down here. Windrunner's just found it, probably going to leave it for Rubik. Rubik now spamming away. Rubik has been farming pretty solidly in this mid lane. 38 and 11 at the moment, but you see the Bear is just getting set, or he's getting so far ahead. 61 and 3. Closest person behind, closest two people behind him are both on the die. Trixie is also there on 35 and 2, but 35 and 2 versus 62 and 3. That is definitely not good news, and of course the big news is 23 and 11 there for Shadow Fiend. He's struggling quite a bit. Counter wards going down for the Radiant though, finding enemy wards, getting rid of them. And unfortunately, that ward there, I'm pretty sure, is in vision range, or rather detection range of the sentry ward, so they'll find that in a moment. I like the fact that they're moving, now that they know that the tower up there is being used for counter warding purposes, both teams moving their counter wards and wards away from the tower. Creep just pushing in on mid, Lone Druid disappearing in the jungle to continue his farm. Meanwhile, a lot of pressure still being put on bottom. Windrunner still forcing this up towards the racks, and pressure still on mid. Dread is just getting ready to set up his wall of plague wards. And Stelliana quite happy to sit on the tree poppers. He's been keeping, like, he's actually re-stolen them several times now. He just says, you know what, the push power is here, let's keep taking them. Power shot there on Shadow Fiend. Both teams though sitting on farm mode. The pressure, Moscow 5, I think they're just quite happy here. They're gradually just closing in on all angles. Just they're going to attempt here. I don't think they're going to go for an early rack. So they just want to get these outer towers, solidify their map control, and then just basically choke out Fnatic. Just make sure they get absolutely zero farm. And probably go in about the 25, maybe 30 minute mark. Or they could go early. It depends how aggressive they feel like getting with Lone Druid. Lone Druid, of course, did get that Midas, so he's going to be a little bit behind there. There's a Ravager going to set up this fight. Can they get a good counterattack in? Stelliana is going to take a fall. Nature's Wrath as well, picking up a second kill there on the Venomancer, and it looks like, was that Enchantress running for her life?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
She's likely to escape here. Nobody actually close enough to catch up to her. She's just going to lose a few creep there. They're going to steal those. Trixie, though, trying to pen her in. She doesn't have a teleport scroll. She might actually just try and run for that in a second. Just decided, you know what, she's not going to go to the side shot because, of course, she could get intercepted going that direction. Has opted just to go and hide. Lone Druid being chased off there by Tidehunter. Meanwhile, looks like Vengeful Spirit's been left in mid for a bit. She's still only level 5. Does want to get that level 6 up relatively soon, so she's got a little bit more utility. Enchantress, I've got to say, Enchantress is quite ballsy at the moment. She doesn't have any vision in the enemy jungle, and she's saying, you know what, let me just wander around in here by myself. She's definitely feeling quite confident. I mean, against stuff like a Bat Rider, Tidehunter, Vengeful Spirit, that's still a pretty tall order for Enchantress, because she's one of the squishiest heroes in the game. To be wandering around this aggressively, she's got help now though. Her teammates have finally arrived in the jungle, but they weren't there before. She could have quite easily been picked off and nuked down before she could do a damn thing. But they're just looking to continue to see. This is what I mean. Even if they don't kill Era here, they're forcing him to run away here and just spend a lot of time screwing around. But they get the shackle down. They should get enough damage. And one more auto attack. Just getting away thanks to that magic wand being popped at the last second. But that's alright. The stun goes down. This is what they don't want to happen though. They don't want to lose heroes in return. But they're quite happy just to cause trouble for Era. And the Impetus doing a lot of damage there. Power shot misses. Batrider now hiding down by these blue glowy crystal things. Flame break going in once again. Doesn't look like he's going to hit anything. Moscow 5 just keeping up the pressure on this bottom lane right now. Syllabear continuing to push the top lane uncontested. I'm kind of expecting to see a gem within the next 5 minutes if they haven't already bought one. Kind of expecting the Dire to get their hands on a gem just to do a lot of counter warding, get rid of all this vision, and make sure that Fnatic are running scared. They'll never know when a gank is about to hit them. They will duck back. Looks like they're going to go and pick up Roshan now. It's going to be pretty damn easy to get. No vision for the Radiant buy here by the bottom rune, so they're going to get that pretty easily. And even if they did have vision, to be honest, I don't think Fnatic at this point in time would really want to go and bother them that much. Although that said, actually they do have level 6. Actually, Titan almost is a level 12, so no, maybe they would. They could go and try and force that fight indeed. Roshan's going to get taken out, probably going to go... Actually, no, they're going to give it to Windrunner. Windrunner, though, almost has... She's about 1,000 gold away from finishing up a Pipe of Insight. Looks like Nature's Prophet also working on a mech there. I'm just looking for the mech on the Dire team. Looks like Enchantress, she's about 900 or so gold away from finishing up that mech. They might just want to wait for that before... They might just want to wait for the pipe as well as the mech before they try and move out any further. Moscow 5 has been struggling a little bit in the last couple of team fights. Just this, mostly the Ravage. The couple of stuns that the Radiant side have, Ravage, Magic Missile as well as Bat Rider's spells as well, has been somewhat problematic. And now they're going to try and pick off Sedoy here. Sedoy 3.3k in the bank. Looks like he's going to lose some here. Gets picked off quite easily. 4v1, not much you can do about that. Meanwhile though, it looks like Moscow saying, you know, if you're going to go 4v1 up there, let's counter push mid while you try and take that top tower. So they're going to get something out of it. The Porks are coming back though. It is only Bat Rider. He's not going to be able to hold this off on his own. This gives Enchantress, who gets the last hit there, plenty of cash. Teleporting though, there's a Ravage! This could be devastating here for Moscow 5. They get hammered there, already lost Rubik. Sedoy is still dead as well. Impetus now going to counterattack, they gets the Bat Rider. However, Shadowfiend getting some kills in here. Aaron taking a double kill. We've already lost Venomancer as well. Rubik is already dead. And now it looks like Ray's being used a couple of times. A power shot doesn't hit. Look at that though! Up on the high ground. Great play there from Aaron, but he might go down anyway. Impetus, one more hit. The ultimate comes out once again. There's that new ult. Getting the kill there on Enchantress, who's just a little bit too close, of course. The stun comes out now on Nexus. And the boxing in. Great micro control there from Hanny. However, he's going to try and box her in. Can he manage it? He's trying for it. Doesn't happen, though. Good attempt. And that was the new ultimate from Shadowfiend in effect. Of course, when he dies now, he actually will pop off a half-strength Requiem of Souls, which, I mean, it makes sense, I guess. The Souls escape from Shadowfiend. He loses half of them, so he might as well do a half-damage Requiem of Souls. Why not? No Tail now, still with only 4... No Tail now, it's just 400 gold at the moment in the bank. All he's got is Tranquil Boost. He's probably feeling very frustrated with that early game start still. He will be still seething over that. Rubik now working towards... I assume he's going for a 4-star. Any kind of... any type of mobility is definitely going to help him out. In fact, I honestly think that's how Dendy steals half of those Ravages that he gets. It's the fact that he instantly 4-staffs away, out of range of the Ravage itself, and then comes back and steals it while it's still in motion. Smoke gank now, Bat Rider charging the enemy jungle is being backed up here by Vengeful Spirit. Just need to slow down a little bit for her. Of course, he has got Tranquil Boots, which allows him to get a lot faster. Firefly looks going, just getting vision here at the moment. The spot of the bear is in some trouble. There's the slow, the stun, negative arm being stacked on top of Lone Druid here. He's in some serious trouble here. He has definitely overextended just a bit against his team. They are quite mobile. Good gank there from Fnatic. This is exactly what they need to do. They do not want this Lone Druid to get this Radiance. If he gets this Radiance up and running, it's going to be very difficult for them to deal with it. Lone Druid, though, he should have it. As long as he can avoid getting ganked, should have it in about 3 or so minutes, which is definitely okay. Especially since Shadowfiend didn't get the best of starts. Shadowfiend, though, has picked up another... I'm not dead sure where he's going with that, but he's got a Ring of Aquila. He's also got the Power Treads. Okay, he's getting Drones of Endurance. Just noticed a Bracer as well. He's just gone for some early stat items. Stallion to continue to farm, finishing up his 4-staff right about now. Hanny has finished his mech. Do they have a pipe being built by anybody? Doesn't look like it. Of course, Nature's Prophet, Mr. Moneybags, can buy just about anything. He's got the superpower of money. He can buy anything your team wants him to. So he could definitely be a candidate for buying a Pipe of Insight next. Unless they think Trixie's... Actually, Trixie could be getting the farm. Actually, looks like Trixie won't be getting the farm for it. He is actually... Looks like he's building a Blink Dagger instead. And he's got enough for it right now. There we go. So they're going to have that initiation value for Trixie. And those Ravages, he's been setting up some really strong fights. Lone Druid needs to be careful. I mean, he's been getting picked off here so much. He shouldn't really be doing it. It's going to happen again. Here it comes. Nature's Wrath coming through. Dragged in the Firefly. There's the Sticky Napalm. Sticky Love being given out. Although it looks like there might be enough to help there on Lone Druid. Oh, he gets trapped in by the Sprout. Flame Break knocking him back. The Bear gets some roots off. Looks like Schneckles may go down. Schneckles now pops the Magic Wand. One more auto attack gets taken out. But they get the Lone Druid. It's what they came for. Ports out. And they lose the Vengeful Spirit, but they trade it for a Lone Druid. Definitely worthwhile there. And this is what I mean. They shouldn't be. He should not be farming this lane. He's been ganked so many times. It's not fun. It's like 3 times in a row now up in this lane, and he has no ward vision up here. It's definitely questionable. We should be heading over to the mid or somewhere else, anywhere else where he's got a bit of extra defense, and his teammates can port in a little bit faster. See Hanny now going to try and put the pressure on the bottom tower. Error is here as well. Error having finished up his drums of endurance. Just wondering if he'll go for a BKB or even a Manta style next. Tidehunter should have a blink dagger by now. He's spent cash on something. Actually, no, it looks like Tidehunter was building straight for a pipe of inside, so I take it back. He's not blinking in. It looked like it's what he was saving for, but he has finished up a headdress and a hooded defiance. He's about $1,000 away to finish it up. The Impetus Door doing a lot of damage. The Flameback going to try and knock his opponents back there. Batrider trying to help out his team. Razor's coming in. The Sprout is completely ineffective. Looks like Solo losing health rapidly. Doesn't have Nature's Attendants running at the moment. Gets cleaned up despite the Chasm. And it looks like they're going to charge back here. The creep going to have absolutely no effect. I think she was trying to slow him down with that Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning creep didn't happen though. Now Fnatic still putting the pressure on here. Looks like they're going to counterattack. Going to try and take down his half health tower. Power shot as well as Fadebot being spammed to cut through these tree puppets. And Trixie, Ravage is ready to go though. This could be really, really dangerous for Moscow 5. Get the hero kills here at the moment. See, there's 7-0 for Nexus has really been doing some work. 7-0. Meanwhile, Lone Druid's still farming away there. He's had a relic for quite a while now, but he's just been ganked this three times in a row or so, and now he's still struggling to get this Radiance up and running. Should have it relatively shortly though. Only about 500 gold shy, and now his teammates are actually protecting him. He's actually going to charge the enemy jungle, try and put some pressure on themselves. Same plan from Fnatic, looking for the Lone Druid. In fact, this is what I meant about Lone Druid shouldn't be in this lane. It's so easy to pick off, and they just keep coming up here. Rotating somewhere else is definitely a smarter option for him. It looks like they are looking, both teams smoked up and looking for a fight. Error actually may get caught out here. And Champ is moving in. She's going to get the slow down on him, possibly. Can she see him? Doesn't quite have the vision, but it looks like they can see him. They've got the ward up. They've got the ward up there. They see Enchantress coming. Seto though, just trying to finish this off. Looks like they're just going to focus on hanging around Lone Druid. Or Lone Druid's going to focus on hanging around them until he finishes up his Radiance. I like the fact that, I've got to say, after Era had a really crappy start. He has really caught up, 105 CS. While it's still not goal, he's definitely still a bit behind. He's definitely caught up to the start he had. So what's about how many kills has he got on the board? He did actually have a decent number of plays earlier on. And he's also sitting on 4, 3, and 2, so he's doing alright in terms of kill goal. Diana doing, I thought he was trying to pop a ward down for a second, but he was actually just trying to kill creep there for particular reason. Tidehunter now has finished up. He's got his headdress done and dusted there. He just needs a recipe. Unless that belongs to somebody else, I don't think it does actually. You see Vengeful Spirit, okay, that's where those rings were going. Vengeful Spirit has also picked up some Tranquil Boots. Radiance is finished now. Spirit Bear is carrying that. And the question is whether or not Moscow 5 want to start getting aggressive. They may actually just wait for this next Roshan before they gun for it. I wouldn't say this much though. Tidehunter, he's really hitting his stride into his level. Nature's Prophet now picking up. He's got enough for an Orchid. Oh wow, that's a really aggressive item. They could quite easily shut down a really powerful hero. Like if they can get that Orchid on top of Rubik during the fight, that would definitely be quite helpful. Or even shut down Venomancer before he can pop off his ultimate. Incredibly fight changing. Venomancer though has picked up a gem, and this is what I meant. Getting these early gems are quite important just for solidifying map control. And no Moscow 5, they're definitely pushing back. Rather, Fnatic, they're pushing back hard. So if Moscow 5 can get rid of their map vision, that will definitely make them play more defensively and just sort of push back a bit less. Red though, just throwing out Plague Wards to scout. He's just looking for these enemy wards. Doesn't find anything. No Enchantress now just stacking the Enchantress going to try and clean them up. Looks like Red will help out in a second with these Plague Wards. Era now, it looks like he's building a Black King Bar, which is definitely a really good item for him to build. Just to get away, avoid all that DOT from Venomancer, also all the disable from Rubik and Windrunner. Definitely a good item for him to pick up. Windrunner though, Pipe is done and dusted. The mech is also finished on Enchantress there, so they've got a lot of attrition value. And also Venomancer has picked up an Urn for healing in between. Urn is honestly one of the most cost-effective items. Lots and lots of free health potions. once you've once you get past 5 or 6 charges, it pretty much pays for itself essentially in terms of health potion costs. It's very, very cost effective for stuff now for Nexus, so just going to help clean this up. At the moment, the Radiant looks like they're probably oblivious to this happening right now. They have an inkling that something's going on, either they're being counter-ganked or maybe they're at Roshan or something, but at the moment, they're quite happy to trade for this tower. The port's coming back though. Looks like it is going to be Windrunner going to try and hold this off. Flamebreak comes through, doesn't do a whole lot though. This tower will get taken out. Windrunner's going to try and slot in, and can she get it? Not going to happen. Nature's Prophet will take that last hit there. Meanwhile, picked up Roshan. I think it was probably Lone Druid did take Roshan there. Rubik now appears to also be building a BKB by the looks of things. And there we go. There's this steal. Going to pick him up with telekinesis as well. Easy there. Gets himself Wave of Terror. He might have preferred having Magic Missile, but either way, Wave of Terror is also a damn good spell as well. Negative armor is always appreciated. Tidehunter now. Pipe is finished, but I still just wonder if he would have preferred a Blink Dagger, but we'll see. Nature's Prophet though is definitely starting to look very, very scary indeed. He's got a lot of damage there. He's got a lot of damage amp as well. Windrunner definitely needs to be careful in this situation. Lone Druid is farming. Should be farming. He should either be farming the jungle in 2 lanes at once. Okay, no, the bear has been sent back to base. He has also picked up plate mail. Looks like Assault Courier is incoming as well from his team. This will help offset presence of a Dark Lord. Also, just all round, it's just a really damn good item to make him a lot tankier. As we saw before, he's quite vulnerable to those negative armor stress. As it looks like they are going to pick off Dread. Nice, easy. Venomance just gets caught out of position, gets taken out very, very quickly. Tidehunter though. 1200. I really feel like he would have preferred a dagger, but you know, he's got 1200 gold in the bank. Takes down a tower here. He should be able to pick this up pretty easily. Just solve his mobility issues. Honestly, the big fights that the Fnatic have won so far, they've been on the back of Tidehunter and his Ravage. So I really feel like they probably should have picked up a Blink Dagger just to help him set them up a little bit easier. See, Era now. Black King Bar is finished. Kind of expecting a Manta style as his next option. Now the push in from mid from the Dire side. Moscow 5 a little unsure here. See how slow they're advancing. Definitely a little bit unsure. Don't want to get ganked here. Also do need to watch out for swaps. And also just playing out and waiting for the creep wave to come down from the tower. Shadow Fiend though. Going to teleport back to base, help out his team. Looks like this Rax is definitely going to be under siege in a second there. Solo getting picked up by Yules. Who's got the Yules? I think... I have no idea who's got the Yules there, as it looks like they are going to force staff away. It's Batrider. Batrider has managed to finish up his Yules. He did have it the first match as well. Which I found slightly unusual. I really generally see Batriders go for Blink Daggers. As is, it does work out quite often. We saw it in the first match. And it looks like Fnatic are going to hold here for now. It looks like Moscow 5 are reluctant to commit in. They do lack those big teamfight potential spells at the moment. Of course, Requiem as well as Ravage. Lone Druid has another nearly 2,000 gold in the bank there, getting quite close to that Hyperstone. Meanwhile, Dredge is going to farm the enemy jungle. Has picked up the jam for map control. We'll probably see him scout out a little bit in a second with his wards. Just look for trouble with the... Look to see if he can spot any enemy wards. And what I can see right now is up there, way out of line of sight. See Era constantly cycling his boots. So, looks like Vengeful Spirit planning to stick some wards down at the moment. Windrunner. He's holding off Furion quite easily. He needs to be wary though. Furion, of course, can be quite troublesome. It looks like he might actually... He's picked up a Mithril Hammer. Now, I haven't seen Maelstrom getting picked up by Furion, but I think it could also... I think it could also be a Desolate, just because it will stack. No, he's already got some nice attack speed from the Orchid, and what he's really lacking right now is just raw DPS, and the negative armor will also stack really nicely with the presence of a Dark Lord. Looks Trixie manages to bottle a DD rune, though the question is, can they finish him off right now? The bear is giving chase. Looks like Lone Druid himself isn't fast enough. They are going to pop the dust as well. Can they throw down a trap? And it looks like Hanny gets rooted to the ground. Is there any follow-up? The bear gets stunned as well. The follow-up is coming, but it was too slow. Vengeful Spirit swapping him out in the end, and it's a Flame Break to drive him back. Vengeful Spirit now getting picked up there. There's no escape for her. Gets picked off by Roots. Now for 30 seconds, it will be 5v4. Quest is, will the Radiant side try and take it back? Will the Dire side try and take advantage of this, or will they just hang back and continue to farm? You see Lone Druid just gradually getting out of control. They're 409-ish. His net worth is good 3,000 above his opponents. That's it. Nature's Prophet is farming nicely, and of course Era is making a very nice comeback. Consider what he started off with. Also, Batrider has made a decent recovery, getting that Yule Scepter up and running as well. So Stalliana will be building that BKB. Has picked a Mithril Hammer as well. The question is, what is Shadowfiend going to go for next? 1,800 gold in the bank. See Nature's Prophet though. Still saving up on cash. So the Ghost Bros, it looks like they get the kill on mid. Stalliana gets caught out indeed. Titan now picks up a plate mail.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Could be, it could either be, I mean, at the same time, it could well be an Assault Curious just for the negative armor would be really useful, but I kind of feel that if anyone's going to pick up, it's going to be Era. I get the feeling Trixie is going to be picking up a Shiva's Guard, to be dead honest.
Tower is under attack.
So the Gush go down, Shackle Shot doesn't latch, so Era, Trixie's though still running around with the DD rune. The Era now, they're bunching up a little bit, need to be wary. But of course, Stalliana is still dead there at the moment. Tower should get taken out quite easily. Well, there's the Yules. They're going to try and pick off Windrunner. Can they get the stun down? 4 staffs away. The opposite direction. Gets killed anyway. As we see the Roots proc there on Batrider as the bear just continues to run away. There we go. That's going to pop out some trees now. Fnatic now on the counter-attack. Going to try and force this in. However, the bear is burning away there with the Radiance. And what spell did we steal there? It was Anchor Smash. It's going to help Stalliana hold the line. Plague Ward's also starting to get spammed here. Looks like they're just going to port out and just push multiple lanes here. Nature's Prophet still sitting on 3,000 gold. Still buyback money and more. Plus, of course, he's got unfinished business in his inventory. Shadowfiend now 2.4k in the bank. It looks like he's going for a Manta Style. They just picked up an Ultimate Orb. And yeah, he's got a Yash as well. Definitely going to be a Manta Style. I really question, where is Hanny going with this build? He's been sitting on all his extra money plus a Mithril Hammer for quite some time. He's got 2 options available to him. I mean, he could even BKB it up. That is also definitely a possibility. You quite easily use that BKB during fights. There we go. Assault Curious is done. I'm just going to farm the Ancients there as well. Both teams seem to be hitting the farm mode. Another team really getting aggressive at this point in time. I'm just going to dial it back and try and figure out where to go from now. And I think I'm really getting worried. I'm really getting worried for Moscow Fire just because I feel like Shadowfiend is definitely going to have the better late game potential. Plus, they can quite easily lock down Lone Druid. They've got the Ravage, they've got the Lasso, they've got the Stuns, they've got the Silencers. They can quite easily cut through his health. And Nature's Prophet did go for a Stygian Desolator. They're just finishing it up now. And still has 1,400 in the bank. So they have a lot of negative armor too, which is really going to help them deal with Lone Druid. Definitely quite worried. Shadowfiend though, he has finished up the Manta Style, has picked that up, and come late game battle with Manta Style as well as all that support, the aura support there from Vengeful Spirit, plenty of extra damage bonuses from that. I kind of feel like Lone Druid is going to go second best if they try and go toe to toe. Looks at the die though, going to try and sneak in another free Roshan. They know it's going to pop up in a second. And this time the question is, can they respond? Looks like they're going to try and get rid of the bear. They spot that. There's 100 gold going out to Shadowfiend once again. Shadowfiend though continuing to farm here. Nature's Prophet being a jerk and stealing all the creep because he can. Now Stalliana getting caught out here. Stalliana likely to die. There's the Flaming Lasso. There's no escape. And the counter-attack there from Roshan's Pit. Looks like they decided to call that short there. As looks like they're going after Dread. Dread's in a little bit of trouble. The stun goes out there. They are just going to try and pick up the bear once again. Can it happen? It does indeed. Orange taking the last hit on that this time. See Firefly from Notel. Relatively effective. Didn't do a whole lot that fight.
Thank you from the bottom of my soul.
Now the Radiant, they've chased up the die. They will be taking out this Roshan attempt, and I honestly don't feel like the die can really counterattack, especially with Rubik dead. He will not arrive in time. This time around, it's the third Roshan too, so we get a cheese with this one as well, I believe.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
They will have a cheese on the ground. Furion deciding he wants that. Winrunner now working on her own Hex. Got 1400 gold in the bank. Has also got the Mystic Staff. Going to try and hold the line. The question is, does Fnatic want to push in, or are they okay with what's going on right now? Looks like they want to push in. Houndshot doing a lot of damage to that script, also utilizing the Wild Kimwachi Tornado quite effectively there. String of trees in, the Illusion's going to get popped there. Power Shot going to go through. The question is, can we get Tidehunter in with a Ravage? Tidehunter's moving up to the front line. Tidehunter does have the cheese. Fnatic, they decide not to stay around for this tower kill. They're okay to leave it there. Fnatic now counterattacking once again. Pipe gets popped this time around. 4 staff away from Rubik. Rubik doesn't really want to get involved all that much. Tower goes down. They're going to work on the racks now as well. And this is looking dire for Moscow 5. They need to push in here, try and make something happen. The slow comes in. Shackle Shot doesn't do a whole lot. And Nature's Wrath coming through in just a moment. There we go, only hitting Solo, who's immediately going to heal up there with Nature's Attendant, so a bit of a waste there indeed. There we go, they're going to charge in. There's a Ravage, going to set up this fight. We've already got Rubik taking out Seto. Seto now trying to fight. Here comes a Requiem doing critical damage. Seto getting slammed by that Requiem. Can he get the kill though? He gets taken out. We've still got the Aegis there on error. This is looking pretty much GG. They could quite easily sweep out a second Rax there. Hanny is on a mega kill. Hanny is still at full health almost. They haven't even taken the Aegis. The Aegis is down. Lone Druid. It looks like he doesn't even have a bear. He's completely relying on himself to try and cause that damage. He's taking critical damage there, although he is counterattacking now. And he will actually end up backing up there. The Aegis is still doing a lot of damage. Negative armor though. Look at that. Stacking on top of him. He's going to 4-star away and then teleport straight back to the fountain. Tidehunter still up and running. Did of course pop the cheese. Has recovered a gem as well. And also they won't be able to get a second Rax. However, they did force 2 buybacks out of Moscow 5, which is always valuable, and they may even get a couple more kills here. Venomancer about to regret that. Doesn't manage to land it. Cancels a couple times. About to say he's about to regret that Ghost after when he gets hit by this Raze, but unfortunately, the Raze never came through as we see the slow get thrown down. Both heroes getting hit by slows there. Aaron now moving in. May actually regret this. Gets taken out. Pops his ultimate as he dies. Thanks to the changes, and unfortunately, he will get taken out. He's like, lol. I'm not quite sure what Insta gived him there. Gem also going to get picked up by the Dire side once again. Tidehunter dropping it.
We three things.
It's not over yet, but definitely a painful result there for Moscow 5. Losing that mid-rax. He's going to the 40-minute mark now. Even lasting a little bit longer than I expected. Now, Batrider, oh boy, he's picked up Travels. He sold his boots, his Tranquil boots, picked up Travels, actually broke them down. He didn't sell them actually, broke them down, and then bought the upgrade for Travels, and he's kept the small items. The good thing about Boots Travel, especially going into the late game period, if No Tower keeps his farm, he can just buy back and teleport straight back in. So if he gets picked up early before he can lasso or Firefly or something, he can just buy back and teleport straight back into the fight. See the Dire team moving in. Drums on Enchantress has been using fuel. Looks like Winrunner already has the fight, but Enchantress is trying to deal with the squishy nature by getting any extra armor that she can, be it magical or physical. Has picked up Planeswalker's Cloak at the moment. Hanny now pushing the top lane. He's sitting on 6,000 gold, which is utterly ridiculous. Alright, so Hanny is just literally rolling in money. It's going to be quite difficult to get rid of him, especially since he has buybacks available. In fact, you're going to kill him and he's just going to buy back. I mean, at this point in time, he could just almost buy a casual Divine Rapier. It's getting close to that point. He's getting so much cash. His BKB is done, but looks like they're going to prime press in here. Can Moscow 5 make something happen? The bear is still very low on health. They don't have a spare bear either, is the big issue. Lone Druid has actually transferred his items to his health. He said, you know what, this late in the game, the bear is just too damn squishy. Bear now moving in there. Can they get something happen? Looks like they're going to throw himself up in the air with the Yules there. Can they take out No-Tail? No-Tail getting slammed. No-Tail goes down. The bear now going to be fighting. Looks like he's going to pop the BKB. Here comes a Requiem. Does critical damage to Seto. Seto gets taken out 2 more hits. Impetus not doing enough firepower. And Solar now melting, literally melting to the Force and Error. Error now charging past. There's a free courier as well. Why not give every opponent 175 gold? Meanwhile, it's a 4v. It was a bloody 4v5 down there because Hanny was up here just BDing the crap out of, well, technically I don't think it's a BD, but it is just taking out this tower. I think he went up there with the creep wave. The creep wave died, just stood there and tanked the tower. Says, screw it, I'm going for it.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Now it looks like he's going to try and get it. The silence goes down to the Windrunner. Can they get him? He will teleport back to the fountain. And the damage out will not take him out.
Bottom tower.
Meanwhile, though, the Radiant are still pushing in, though. And, of course, there's a Ravage popping and hitting all those heroes. Lusaliano is the next to go down. Can they take out Windrunner and Venomancer? Venomancer likely to die in a second. Anchor Smash, one more hit. Heals himself up. Gush will finish him off. And Windrunner, she popped her pipe, but it was too slow to help out the Venomancer there. They will get a second Rax, and this is looking to be very, very GG indeed. Nature's Prophet. Piece of a Crystallis. Just because he can. There's the Flaming Lasso, going to pick off the Windrunner, starting to follow things up as well. And the Firefly, 4 staffs away, makes the escape, swap back though, gets taken out, and Gem gets thrown down there on the ground. Can they kill? Yes they can, no way. Solo gets wrecked there. One of the squishiest heroes in the game, no way she's standing up to that. And Era has also got a Crystallis, also has life still in the form of a Helm of the Dominator, and this is GG. Moscow 5 have called it. Fnatic, they didn't throw. It's not a Thronatic game. They decided, you know what, let's win this one. They've taken it home 2-1. And I've got to say, great start in the first game. I was a little dodgy running the same strategy twice, right? And it was a pocket strategy at that, very easy to counter. But great play from them. They did counter it in the end. And those really, I'm going to say what honestly screwed Moscow 5 was those repeated ganks on Lone Druid. Lone Druid overextending with no wards up and just getting picked off by 4 or 3 heroes. But thanks guys for watching. This has been Triumph Man casting Fnatic versus Moscow 5. We'll be moving very quickly into the interview just because we need to get this rolling as quickly as possible. So stick around. I will be interviewing somebody from Fnatic ASAP.